smart device.
People of Oklahoma, I really thank what you've done for me all these years. Thank you very much. I love you guys.
A giant of Oklahoma politics, a conservative leader who held political office for more than 5 decades, Jim Inhofe, passing away today at the age of 89. Senator James Lankford knew Inhofe well. They worked together in Washington for the better part of a decade. And Senator Lankford joins us now as Oklahoma mourns the passing of the late senator. Thanks so much for being with us, Senator. We appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to do it. Wish it was on a better circumstance than that.
I agree completely on that. I mean, you know as well as anyone that the kind of impact that Senator Inhofe had on the state of Oklahoma. So if you could just put into perspective for us the loss this is for this state.
Yes, losing Senator Inhofe, obviously when he stepped away from the Senate 2 years ago and saw that he was having some health issues and chose to be able to step away early during his term, he felt some ongoing issues. But even at that time, we were talking about what he has done for our military installations, for our veterans, for our infrastructure in the state. He's been passionate about aviation. He is a person that has been a conservative leader for energy. So his persistence and his tenacity to be able to pursue the things that are important to Oklahomans has benefited the entire state in ways that most people in the state will never know, whether it be the roads that we're driving on or whether it be the military installations and what he did for our veterans. There's just a lot that has happened over the past 5 decades that he was the tip of the spear to go chase down.
Well, go a little bit deeper on that, if you could, Senator. I mean, what is something, a policy, an impact that perhaps most people would not be familiar about, but one that you think definitely should be right there alongside his name when people think of the senator?
Well, so let me give you 2 things. Let me give you a policy and a personal statement back and forth on that. One of them is what's happening on our bases. Oklahoma never had a BRAC, a base closure, while Jim Inhofe was leading and on the Armed Services Committee. He was working with the local communities. He was making sure that our bases were prepared and were ready and were efficient for that moment. And so while other states lost military installations, which was a huge loss in communities of jobs and a lot of other things, Oklahoma actually grew in our military installations. That was a practical effect that happened. Flip side, something that most people did not know is Jim Inhofe had a great passion for Africa. He was in Africa multiple times a year. He led prayer breakfasts in many of these communities, meeting with state leaders and getting a chance to be able to sit down and to be able to pray with them, be able to talk about the future of Africa, partnerships with the United States and Africa. So while many people know him for his energy work and for what he did for veterans and military and aviation, they don't remember often what happened in Africa and how many nations that he worked with and how many relationships. And when I meet an African leader still at this time, they will often ask me, do you know Jim Inhofe?
Wow.
Because they have great respect for him and for Oklahoma because of that.
I read the statement that you made today, Senator, about Inhofe's passing. You referred to him as a force to be reckoned with. How so?
Yeah, he was persistent and tenacious, and I would tell you was flat out stubborn at times. When he would work on projects and things, he just would not let it go. He was very passionate about it, was great on relationships and moved a lot of legislation, was a true legislator in that he would sit down with people across the aisle that he had diametrically different opinions with to say, how are we going to figure this out? Many people don't know he had a long-time friendship with a very liberal senator, Barbara Boxer from California. They both served on the Environment and Public Works Committee. They had very different opinions. They worked very hard together and developed a very legitimate friendship. Jack Reed, who is the lead Democrat on the Armed Services Committee, was one of the first people to be able to catch me today in his great respect for Jim Inhofe and how he will miss his friend. And so while Jim Inhofe was a passionate conservative and spoke clearly for conservative values on things, he was not afraid to be able to cross the aisle to be able to figure out how we're going to get legislation passed.
My last question for you, Senator, is that I know that Inhofe, he'd been in office. He'd been in the Senate, in fact, for 20 years when you were first elected there. And so I was curious if he had any words of wisdom or kindness for you when you joined him as a colleague there in the U.S. Senate.
Yeah, I sat down with him immediately when I was elected in the Senate in his office and said, hey, I want to find ways for us to be able to work together, our teams to be able to work together. And he said, you're going to do just fine. In fact, it was funny. It was the first time he introduced me to colleagues in the Senate after I was elected. Had 2 funny statements. He said, you're going to like James. He's a Jesus guy like I am. And together, the 2 of us were 65 years old. And I always loved his sense of humor that he had with that, to be able to come back and say, I'm going to introduce you around. We're going to find ways to be able to work together, and we did.
A big loss for Oklahoma, a big loss for the country. Senator Jim Inhofe passing away today at the age of 89. James Lankford, the senior U.S. Senator now from Oklahoma, reacting live here on KOCO. Thanks so much, Senator, for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks for honoring me, Evan. Thank you.
Absolutely.